more with John Brown and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
Hey everybody, it's 8:01 on February 1st, 2017. Spam, sports, politics, and more. I'm your host, John Brown, joined as always with my co-host, Nick Durst. Nick, are you there?
John, episode 25, and man, oh man, is it a big one tonight? We want to hear what you have to say. Lots going on in the world right now. Give us a call, 1-718-717-8296. Write to us in the UCY lobby chat where we have greetings Gunshill from Grump, and we have a yo from Cracker. So thanks for those comments, listening so far. Also, you can tweet us. I'm at Nick_Durst. John, of course, is at SA_sports. I'll get you the sports any way that you can. He's John Thomas on Twitter. But John, we have a lot to talk about tonight. And of course, big stories is Starbucks going crazy, the social media and media meltdown, so much winning, which is leading to a lot of whining. So the president is doing exactly what he promised, which is shocking people for some reason. But of course, the WWE Royal Rumble will be addressed. A big 10 at 10 coming up. And we start off right now with a little Super Bowl talk. Super Bowl 51, also known as Super Bowl LI. And it would, of course, pit the New England Patriots, and they'll be taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And listen, it's going to be a big matchup, explosive offenses. But I think what it comes down to, John, is that the Patriots defense is a lot better than the Falcons. And they're very good in the red zone. They gave the least amount of points this year. I think ultimately, the Patriots offense is just going to be too much to handle. And at this time, we welcome in football extraordinaire, Georgia Southern expert, and New England Patriot hater, Andrew Hershkowitz. Andrew, what's up, man?
Well, I was going to get mad at you for calling me a football expert and all these untrue things, but then you said Patriot hater at the end, so everything's okay. So
Hirsch here has got all the stats, the NFL stat packet. And if you're on the lookout, it's kind of strange, but the Bleacher Report plans to publish a big game preview Friday. And it's like as if they stole some of the stats. Anyway, be on the lookout for that. Hirsch, what do you got for us? I think the most interesting stat would have to be just you start off with the color of the jerseys and the fact that the Falcons actually had the choice of what color to wear, and they screwed up right there.
I love how now you're making me go get my work computer and find all the stat packets and not prepare me. This is like expert producing work, Nick.
Listen, I don't need to go get the computer, but so John, this is pretty crazy. Something like teams that wear white jerseys in the Super Bowl are 14-2 or something in the last 16. And the Falcons decided they will wear their home jersey, and the Patriots will be wearing white. And the Patriots are something like 4-2 in games they don't wear. In games they wear white or something like that. So definitely messed up right up the top.
These are going to be the factors that decide the game. Like that is probably like number 3 on the list. There are probably 2 others that are quite more obscure, but are going to be deciding factors in this game right there. So, I mean, the white jerseys, that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, Brady looks better in white, you know. He doesn't need to wear that black slimming, you know.
Yeah. Well,
did you guys hear that caller today, Mike Francesa, that said that the Patriots have won every Super Bowl they've ever played where the other team is named after an animal? Very interesting.
Really? Well, that makes sense because they beat the Rams,
Eagles,
and they beat the Eagles, and they
Falcons, Panthers. Well, they didn't. But the Giants, they couldn't beat the Giants. You know, that's not. They don't exist anymore.
Not an animal name. So Hirsch, why don't you give us the pick of this game and who's gonna win? What's the deal? What's the deal with the
predictions?
Spread?
Predictions.
And what'll be the key thing? The X factor in this game. I think we all know what it is, but give us your X factor anyway after you tell us who's gonna win and why.
I mean, do you also want me to tell you how long the national anthem's gonna go for?
Yeah, give me the over/under, and give me I think there's going to be a wardrobe malfunction with Lady Gaga, and
please don't allow it to happen. I think that actually, even if this game's going to be a shootout and it's going to be high scoring, but if that happens, I'm turning off my TV.
I will not be watching halftime, but
Puppy Bowl the whole halftime.
Puppy Bowl all day.
Yeah, I got my numbers. I'm ready to go.
All right, so. No, Hirsch, we got John here is very into the spread. So,
right. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but it's a matter of if Atlanta's young guys, especially on defense, and I usually hate like talking about like the moment like in a 1-game sample anything could happen, but like if you talk to athletes. Like, the Super Bowl means something, and these young guys, whether it be Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, guys who Atlanta brought in to make their defense faster. And these guys theoretically should be able to cover the horizontal. The way New England has added a downfield element to their game, but it's still all based off stretching the field horizontally. And if they could find a way to shut that down, then maybe they have a chance. But like my issue comes down to I don't see how they're going to be able to pressure Brady unless Vic Beasley has a monster game. That's. And you asked me the X factor. On Atlanta's side of the ball, it's Vic Beasley. On the Patriots side of the ball, it's Dion Lewis. But those would be 2 guys that I would look for. But I just think it's going to be a fun game all around, and I'm excited.
Dion Lewis, and for those of you who don't know, and John, listen to this crazy stat. The Patriots are undefeated in games Dion Lewis has played. He is 16-0 in games played. He's the first player ever to have a kick return, reception touchdown, and rushing touchdown in 1 playoff game. And Hirsch, where did he rank with his broken tackles if you added up?
So the Patriots are 16-0, which equates over a whole season when Dion Lewis is in the lineup. And before I even tell you this stat, I think it's important to get context on it. Dion Lewis doesn't carry the ball as much as the other guys on this list carry the ball.
Right.
So this is a counting number. And broken tackles in the 16 games. So I took Dion Lewis's 16 games that he's played, and I put it next to the broken tackle leaders from this year. And Dion Lewis came in 5th with 56. David Johnson was 71 all the way at the top. He was ahead of everybody. But then guys like Le'Veon Bell, LaShawn McCoy, and I believe Jay Ajayi were right in the same vicinity. We're right in the same vicinity, about like 2 or 3 away from Dion Lewis. And those guys are workhorses. Ajayi, once the Dolphins finally realized that Arian Foster wasn't their answer, or maybe Foster kind of forced their hand by retiring, Ajayi was one of the best running backs in the league this year. So Dion Lewis is a huge factor. And again, that comes down to the speed at linebacker position. If Devondre Campbell and if Deion Jones can cover him coming out of the backfield, or even when they put him in a slot at times, then Atlanta has a shot at stopping them. I think the more interesting conversation is, will the Patriots defense be able to stop the Falcons?
So you're leading you're giving the pros and cons of both teams here, but we got to get your pick, Hirsch. We got to know what's going to happen.
Oh man, predictions go against everything I stand for, right. But I guess they're just fun. I'm gonna predict. Since the world is awful, and I don't mean that by a lot probably what your listeners probably think I mean, but it's because I'm a Jets fan. Everything sucks, so the Patriots are gonna win, and they're gonna somehow find a way to win by 3.5, so they cover also.
Oh, okay, John. We know you're ready to get to the spread here. Let's hear it. Let's give your analysis.
Oh, I think that they're definitely 3.5. That's I think that New England's going to win, and I think they're definitely going to cover. New England on the over all the way. One thing that Belichick always does is if he can, he runs up the score. So he always messes with that. So playing the numbers is a bad idea unless it's like when they played Houston and it was like 50 points.
Do you think Belichick knows what the spread is? I believe he does, but I don't think he would ever admit it.
Who knows? He said he didn't even know that Atlanta won.
He also said he doesn't deal with Snapface and InstaChat. So I just think he likes to troll people in his own little way, and that would make a lot of sense.
I think he's just a dick, and he likes being a dick.
Belichick, we know, greatest coach of all time, probably not even a debate. This is going to be his 10th Super Bowl appearance. Of course, 30 years ago, he won his first Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator for the Giants, and he's all about the defense. And I think this game is not going to be a shootout. I think the Patriots are going to win by at least a touchdown, and I think it's going to be maybe like a 21-14 game. And I think the defense for the Patriots is actually going to play well. Matt Ryan might throw for 400 yards, but they're not going to score enough in the red zone. And I think the Patriots ultimately win, and they cover the spread. And now, last thing we have to discuss here is what is it going to look like, both on social media and when we watch it itself, when Roger Goodell hands Robert Kraft the Lombardi Trophy. Hirsch, you go first.
Probably the opposite of what it was during the inauguration. I'll just say that.
Okay, and John?
I think a lot of tears. There's going to be a lot of salty tears for everyone outside of the New England tri-state area. Goodell really shit the bed on this one, so I'm actually glad. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, what I meant by my point is I think people are going to be happy. I mean, I know people don't like Brady, and we've seen what's going on during media week. But I think people dislike Roger Goodell even more, and what he supposedly stands for, and just the symbol of what he is. And I think they're going to eat it up, even though it is the Patriots and it is Brady and Belichick. They're still going to eat it up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be social media. It'll be a buzz, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a big game this Sunday, Super Bowl LI, and yeah, we're all agreed here. The Patriots are going to win.
Can we? I'm completely going all over your hosting, and you're doing a great job, Nick. I gotta say, but we deal football all day. Can we talk Mello? I want to hear what John has to say about Mello.
We can. We'll let you give a Mello point. John is the huge Mello hater, just like you. But the next thing I want to say about the Patriots is one of the first things that was said on this show to start our football season, and we'll let John say it. What was the key here to the Patriots season?
Don't make Tom Brady mad. It's in the first episode. Everyone can go listen to it.
And he's very mad. He's a very mad guy, but he's going to be very happy come Sunday night after the 7-hour Super Bowl game, which is going to have too many commercials. But now it's time for the 10 of 10. We'll hold that for a second as John can give us his take on Carmelo, and then Andrew, you could discuss if you want your little ticket scam thing, but
no.
I don't want you to get in trouble. But go ahead, John. You want Melo out of here? You both guys want him on, but go ahead, John. What do you want to say about Carmelo Anthony?
Listen, you got to get him out of here if there's anyone willing to take him, he has bad knees. He's on the wrong side of 30. He makes a ton of money. And
you can't trade him for Jamal Crawford and Austin Rivers. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I would trade him for a bag of basketballs at this point. I don't give a shit.
He's not Giants. Take it easy.
This is what he's doing. He can take us to the first round of playoffs every year. Who gives a shit? I'd rather not make the playoffs at all. I think winning 35 games, being the 8th seed, and losing in the first round is worse than anything else in the NBA because you're not going to get a good enough pick to prove your team.
We both said it the last time Andrew was on, and we always say early, the Knicks need to lose as many games as possible. But that doesn't mean you can mortgage the next few years being stuck with Jamal Crawford and Austin Rivers. You got to get picks for Melo if you're going to trade him.
I think both of you are right. And it's funny because I was having this confliction also. Like, yes, I think Melo. I just think by Melo sheerly being gone, the Knicks will. I'm not saying they're going to be a better team, but there's going to be a direction, right? So there's definitely a positive just of getting rid of him. But you also can't lose him for Jamal Crawford and Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers has actually improved a lot, and he gets a bad rap.
What would it say about Austin Rivers if his own father traded him, though? That would tell you that as a player. Listen, we're going to end it with this because we're at crunch time here. Andrew, we want to thank you for coming on. And just know this is not Carmelo Anthony's team. This is not Porzingis' team. This is Ron Baker's team. And they structure it that way. And we'll get one more thing here in the Knicks. How about Derek Fisher this week saying that the Knicks are in a downward spiral because they fired him, and then the next day his house gets broken into? It had to have been Matt Barnes. What do you think? Yeah.
Didn't Matt Barnes have to turn himself in for something? Was that it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Probably not related. Matt Barnes is a bad dude. All right, Andrew, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And we'll speak to you again on the show, hopefully in a few weeks or so.
I'm most definitely down. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, and now we let Andrew go, and it's time to bring in another Andrew, the phenomenal one, A.J. Pollock, for the 10 at 10, a Super Bowl edition, John. And he's going to give us the top 10 foods to eat during the Super Bowl. I know you probably smacked like crazy during this game. But Andrew, it's time for you here. AJ Pollock, the phenomenal one. He did change his name on Twitter, folks, to reflect his nickname. But Andrew, we know you love food. Sorry we're running a little late, but we got to talk about the Super Bowl. It needed to have its time to discuss. So Andrew, 10 out of 10, top 10 Super Bowl snacks. Take it away.
Okay. Wow. It's a brand new week, everybody. So let's bring that up. Second, obviously, I will be rooting for the Falcons. I'm sorry to tell Nick and John that.
Are you kidding? That's it. John, hang up on him. Hang up. It's all right, Andrew. We'll forgive you, but the Patriots are probably going to win.
Well, I don't want to see Brady get another trophy because I do not like Tom Brady.
You don't want to see him get one for the thumb? 5 rings?
No thumb. Sorry, Tom. You had enough. Bye-bye.
See, if I'm a Jet fan, I want him to win because it might actually motivate him to retire.
Good point.
Yeah, well, I like Matt Ryan.
Andrew, you're a Giants fan. Why would you hate the Patriots? I don't understand where the hate comes from.
It comes from the 2 times we've played the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
And we beat them twice, so why do you hate them?
Because I don't like Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. If just the greatest player.
It's Montana.
Why? How? Montana has the same amount of Super Bowls. He has less MVPs, less stats, less playoff wins. So why? And less Super Bowl appearances. So how could you say he's better?
Well, I don't know then. But let's change the topic. It's very important that we talk about.
Yeah, we need to know what you're eating on Super Bowl Sunday.
That's why I need to get into the intro, and then we'll do the 10 of 10.
All right, hit it.
Let's do it. Let's do my intro. So, many people this weekend will be having the traditional Super Bowl party, either at a house or in a bar or wherever you're going to have your party. But keep in mind here, there's going to be food, obviously. Now, considering that many people think that Thanksgiving Day is a big food fest, Also, it is the day of the Super Bowl. And this is why my 10 of 10 list this week is Super Bowl foods. So, as I usually do from 10 to 1, we will start off at number 10, and Nick and John, of course, are always allowed to give their reactions. Number 10 to start off the list this week, potato dip.
Potato dip. I don't know if I ever had potato dip. Usually I have the sour cream dip. How about you, John?
I'm a salsa guy. I don't think I've had potato dip either. What the hell is that?
Potato dip, well, I will quickly explain it for a sec, as long as my correct source will give me the head up on it. It comes with basically sour cream, bacon, cheese, and scallions.
I'm out on bacon. I ain't eating bacon in my dip. I don't like bacon at all. I know John would bathe in bacon if he could, but I hate bacon.
I like bacon, but I don't know if I like it. I don't like sour cream, so I'm out.
All right.
All right, Andrew, number 9.
Okay. Number 9. We're going to go with guacamole.
Can't go wrong with guacamole. The only issue I have with guacamole is that they charge extra, which makes no sense because avocados aren't even that expensive. John.
Guac. Give me guacamole. Yeah, I'm a guacamole fiend. I love that shit. It's delicious.
Damn right. We can almost argue. We'll see the list, but it might be too low on this list. Coming in number 9.
There's better food. There's better food on the list.
All right, let's see it. Number 8.
Number 8. We're going to go with beans.
With what?
Beans.
Beans? Who the hell eats beans watching football?
Beans? I love beans.
So Andrew's just cracking over a can of beans and chucking them down during the Super Bowl? John, I can't even talk right now. Please talk.
What are you, a hobo? Waiting for a train to ride you out of town? Who eats beans?
This is de Blasio's New York City.
Hey, you want to order pizza? Nah, it's good. I got beans.
Just beans with nothing?
No.
That's some random shit.
Better.
All right, number 7.
All right, I promise everything is better on this list from 7 to 1. I will, and if I make one bad thing, you can hang up on me.
I'm not hanging up on you. But who the hell says they can't wait for the Super Bowl so they can eat beans? What kind of beans? Green beans, lima beans, string beans, rice and beans. What kind of beans?
Well, I can be specific about them if it's possible.
Yeah, next week we're doing a 10 out of 10. Your top 10 beans.
The 10 best beans.
No, I like the beans that have the sauce on them.
You talk about baked beans.
Right?
I'm talking about the beans that you have on the 4th of July.
Oh, okay, like baked beans and hot dogs. Yeah, I get that, but not just like beans by themselves as like a snack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant to say baked beans. Sorry, everyone.
Okay. All right, number 7.
Number 7, we're going to go with wings.
Wings?
Wings are should be usually most people's number 1 for the Super Bowl. What do you think? I'm definitely having wings on Sunday. How about you, John?
Absolutely, but I only like bone-in from a couple different places. Has to be bone-out because the vast majority of bone-in places, you get sloppy junk. I hate it. I only like bone-in if it's breaded, and the hot sauce is on the side. I can't do the bone-in and hot sauce on it because then it gets slimy and nasty.
All right, good take there from John, who is I would say John eats a lot of wings throughout the year.
I do like chicken wings. I am a big chicken wing fanatic. And actually, me and Andrew had lunch one day at quote-unquote best chicken wing in New York City, according to Esquire magazine, at Bonchon on 38th Street.
There we go.
Which was spicy as shit.
Yeah, I can't do hot wings. I don't enjoy it. I need to just have mild or different flavored wings. Andrew, what kind of wings do you like?
I'm more of a crispy baked chicken wing guy. As long as I can, feel the crunchiness of the chicken.
The best type of chicken is fried chicken, though.
Oh, definitely.
John, fried chicken guy?
Absolutely. Listen, I know that it's like a heart attack in a box, but that shit's delicious.
I get the drumstick. I love when you can order just drumsticks, and I get like 10 drumsticks, which is the leg, and just eat the chicken wings. The fried chicken.
Can I change number 8 to mozzarella sticks instead?
No! Chicken wings are definitely on the list. Mozzarella sticks are not on the list. You can't do that replacing. It doesn't work.
I'm going to get rid of baked beans now.
No,
we heard it already. We know. We know what you mean.
Finish the list.
Can we make it an honorable mention then?
Go ahead, make it the honorable mention.
All right, okay, 2 more honorable mentions later. But let's go to number 6. We're going to talk about nachos.
I like nachos.
Nachos, can't go wrong there. All right, next up.
All right, number 5, wieners.
It's like pigs in a blanket or hot dogs?
Pigs in a blanket.
I'm down.
John is a big pigs in a blanket guy.
But here's the thing: you got to make them yourself. You got to get the rolls. You got to get the hot dogs.
Yeah,
you got to make them yourself. You can't get them out of a box frozen because then they get all fluffy on the outside and they're fucking gross.
One year, my mom made pigs in a blanket, but she just took like the croissant thing from the Pillsbury, wrapped it around a whole hot dog, and it was just eat a hot dog in a croissant bun. It was amazing.
I love that idea.
All right, Andrew, keep it going, man.
All right, number 4, cupcakes.
Cupcakes. All right, you gotta have dessert. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. I think cupcakes are very, very tasty. What kind of cupcake would you say? Would you recommend?
Well, it depends on each particular person's ideals, but I'm a chocolate guy, so I have to go with chocolate.
All right, John, what's your cupcake power ranking?
Yeah, right. I don't really like cupcakes, man. I'm not a cupcake guy. I like
you're not really a dessert guy. You're not into cakes and stuff.
No, I like salty foods. I'm not into sweet foods.
All right, next up, Andrew.
Yeah, that's why I remember John always complains to me about desserts.
I'm not into it.
John, I mean, how do these complaining conversations go? Like, John just comments, like, you're like, oh, happy birthday, John, enjoy your cake. And John's like, I hate dessert.
I'm like, fuck cake. All
right, next up.
No, okay? If John did not lose his job, and I'm going to be honest, John's main dish would have to be appetizers. And that would be it.
That's why this list is made for John right now, because appetizers is the Super Bowl, and John's probably the expert when it comes to appetizers. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be apping it up on Sunday. You know that because I don't give a shit about this game.
No one has had more bar food in their life than John.
Working at a bar does that.
And come on down to John's former workplace. I'm sure they have some sort of deal, right?
No, fuck that. Don't go there anymore.
All right.
We're not going to 7th and 33rd now. We're not.
No. He's talking about the bar he's the bartender for in Staten Island. They're actually still a good bar, but the chances of someone hearing this and then going there, super duper unlikely.
Well, they're lucky. It was not a business when they used to have every time Geno Smith threw a pick, you get a free drink deal. But
we
all
had
right,
to stop that. People kept getting super fucked up.
Yeah. All right, next up, Andrew.
All right. The top 3 are very good. I will admit that. But we're going to do with number 3. Ribs.
Ribs. I don't know if anybody eats ribs in the Super Bowl. I never heard of that. I like ribs.
I've done that. So down south, they do barbecue, like ribs and steak and shit. Is like they barbecue for the Super Bowl.
That sounds delicious. I hate that there's not many barbecue places in Manhattan.
Yeah, and the ones that they do have kind of suck. But it's nice out down south, so you can barbecue.
Very true. Warmer weather. And they'll be barbecuing down in Atlanta. Getting pumped for that game.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, top 2. The anticipation is killing everybody in the chat.
Anticipation?
Yeah.
All right. I better make it good. All right. So number 2, and many people will like this. I hope they do. We're going to go with Party Mix Chips.
Not too sure I'm familiar with that. John, do you know what that is?
I will explain because I love this snack. It's tortilla chips, corn chips. Basically, it's Cheetos, Doritos, and pretzels.
Sounds good to me.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. And now it's time for number 1 on the 10 at 10 at 8:30 p.m.
8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. All right. So, number 1, and I know Nick and John are going to love this, pizza.
Yep.
I was going to say, where was the pizza? Because everybody knows Andrew had pizza for lunch today. Andrew.
Not everyone until now.
I mean, I think that was a good list. And listen, folks, Andrew, you need to do this because you dropped the ball on Thanksgiving. You have to send John a picture of your Super Bowl meal, and John will be tweeting it out on the official Spam Twitter account. And that can be found at spam_UCYTV. And, of course, John will probably retweet it at SN Sports. And, Andrew, you can retweet it as well. You'll be tagged at Andrew's Randomness. So, Andrew, will you be able to do that for us?
Wait, honorable mentions, please. This is very important. Do not forget the beverages. That is the honorable mention.
And your beverage of choice?
I would go with Sprite Zero, just because I don't want caffeine until the next day because I have to go to work on Monday, obviously, and I need caffeine in the afternoon. So yeah,
I think John's beverage of choice would be anything with liquor in it, specifically Bud Light.
No, actually. So surprisingly, I don't drink liquor. Mm-hmm. But I will be drinking Yingling, which is the oldest American beer, and it's delicious.
Well, so my mistake.
I will never drink anything from Budweiser ever again because they're going to have some pro-bullshit refugee commercial during the Super Bowl, and I'm out. Keep your politics away from my beer.
All right, folks.
Wait a minute. Whoa. They already leaked the commercial?
Yeah, they revealed it on Twitter the other day.
No.
Oh, we got a phone call. Hold on.
We're getting a phone call, so Andrew, remain patient here. Stay on the line.
All right.
Oh, is it a wrestling fan?
I'm sure it is.
Wait, is it James?
We'll have to wait and see. I know you're dying to know, but John,
if James from Staten Island's calling in, I'm telling you right now, I was expecting it.
All right, let's see who we got here.
All right.
Please leave your message for 6467.
What just happened? Okay, so it looks like we're having some phone difficulties as usual.
You know what it is? When someone calls without Skype,
please leave your message for 646.
I tried calling them back, got nothing.
Okay, well, what was it? I think this person just messaged in the chat with their number to call, so I sent that to you on Facebook. But Andrew,
please leave your message for 646.
So John, check
Live
your
radio, folks. Live radio.
All right, so anyway, Andrew, you know, Royal Rumble just happened. We got a lot to talk about, but first we got to talk about the fact that you would like to date a wrestler. Isn't that right?
Oh boy! Again, Nick likes to give my personal life out there, but I will happily explain. So, recently, I'll go on a little bit personal. I've been in an on-again, off-again relationship with this girl from Long Island. Friends, technically, but I don't want to put her name out there for the world to know. But I've been thinking recently that I might want to date somebody who is involved in sports.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
Drama for your mama. I like it.
All right. Andrew, this girl, did you happen to meet her on J-Swipe?
No. Okay, first of all, fuck Tinder and fuck J-Swipe. Okay? fuck them.
Oh, watch the language.
But John curses all the time.
Our supporter is going to get a bad rep if he's going around reporting cursing in people's faces, right, John?
Yeah. And listen, the FCC don't listen to this shit, so fuck them. I'm trying to pull the sad.
Here. This is like satellite radio.
It's not ringing, John?
Yeah, it's not ringing.
So, the one wrestler I want to date, so that way I can leave the suspense out there for everybody, is Charlotte Flair.
Ooh, you know who that is, John?
No.
That is Ric Flair's daughter. Now, Andrew was telling me that his parents would actually approve of this, and I said, well, wouldn't you be a little worried about meeting a Nature Boy?
Well, I'm not afraid of Ric Flair, and I'm not afraid to date his daughter.
Oh, did you hear that, John? I mean, that's like a quote for the ages on this show.
I'm not afraid of Ric Flair. I'm not afraid of Dave's daughter. I like it.
Woo! All right, Andrew. I think Andrew's got to get on J-Swipe now. What do you think?
Why not, man? Why don't you try Bumblebee or whatever the fuck that's called? I don't know.
J-Swipe.
All right, but Andrew, real quick here, Royal Rumble. I was very disappointed in the winner of the Royal Rumble match. How about you?
Yeah, I think you need to stick on to the important aspects. So, many people hopefully saw my Royal Rumble prediction video. I was very disappointed that Lesnar and Strowman were not the last two in the match. And I didn't expect Roman Reigns to come out at number 30. And from what I've seen online, I'm telling you, I agree with everybody. That Vince McMahon and James from Staten Island would agree with me on this, is the most complete dunderhead we've ever seen. And it's not just that. No. The audacity to have Roman Reigns come in at number 30, and then all of a sudden, the last two men in the match is this poster boy who represents the Monday Night Raw brand, and Randy Orton, a veteran who...
The person you're trying to reach is not available. Please leave a message after the beep.
Oh, we got like a British invasion going on here, which is pretty crazy. Very interesting.
But sticking to the topic at hand, for the idea of Randy Orton to win this match was completely unexpected. And we all thought that the likely man who would win the match at the end of the night would be Goldberg. But that didn't happen. And we maybe thought that it would be The Undertaker. No, that didn't happen. So maybe it was Brock Lesnar. No, that didn't happen. So as the suspense of number 30 was about to come out, we were expecting the return of Finn Balor. Nope, that didn't happen. Maybe it was another NXT call-up. Nope, wasn't Samoa Joe. No, it was a guy who doesn't need a championship push.
Well, all right. So Randy Orton won, which is an absolute disgrace. But the reason Roman Reigns is in there is because one, they wanted to eliminate the Undertaker with him to set up the WrestleMania match, and two, think about this, Andrew. If Roman Reigns isn't the last guy in there with Randy Orton, if Randy Orton wins against anybody else, Randy Orton's getting booed badly. So there you have it. That's basically essentially why. Andrew, thanks for the great 10 out of 10 and the wrestling analysis. Best of luck with your J-Swipe or Bumblebee, whatever the heck that thing is, John said.
Wait. I have a couple things to say. Next week, I'm doing a Elimination Chamber prediction video on my channel. And number 2, tickets are still available for Anything Goes, which I talked about last week at the Sid Jacobson JCC. So there's a show Saturday, and there's a show on Sunday this week. So if you're in Long Island, I highly recommend you check this show out because the cast is talented last week.
And Andrew was there. Check him out on Snapchat. Andy's randomness. He gives a lot of weather updates, and he's going to be our weatherman as the winter gets nasty.
Yes, we're already getting another bad storm on Tuesday, I think.
Oh, great. All right, Andrew. Thanks for the great 10 out of 10. Very funny tonight.
Let's go Falcons!
Enjoy your beans and enjoy the game.
All right. Bye, everyone. And I'm hoping I come back the Falcons are the champions. Bye-bye now.
All right. There we had it. Andrew is gone. Now
the person you're trying to reach is not available. Please.
Something is wrong with Skype with UCY that you cannot call a regular number anymore. Very odd. But now that Andrew's gone, maybe whoever was trying to call us can call again, and maybe it'll work because less people.
I'm calling one of the people back.
Don't even waste.
I have this thing set up to allow anyone to call, and I can answer the call, but the problem is I can't.
I think he's on the call now. Caller, are you there? No.
Hello.
There we go. We got a caller, John.
Caller.
Well, it's showing him attached here, but I guess not.
No, nothing.
All right. So if you're an expert when it comes to Skype phone calls, or if you work for UCY, let us know how we could get callers, because we haven't been able to get callers, I don't think, ever in the history of our 25-episode run. Right, John?
Nope. We have to call out. We can't accept calls in for whatever reason. That might be user error as well. I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing, maybe.
Well, this happened a few weeks ago with me. Anyway, but let's move on, John. 20 minutes left here. We got to discuss some things. First of all, President Donald Trump is doing exactly what he promised. So I would like to know, why are people so surprised all of a sudden with that and a mass hysteria? And why is there a social media and media meltdown over this? Explain this to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I have no idea, because he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, which I guess is surprising if you thought it was all bluster, which I've actually seen a little bit online where people are like, oh, blah, blah, I thought he was just campaign nonsense, blah, blah. But in reality, what it is, the liberals have been in power essentially unchallenged for 8 years, and they've forgotten how to lose, essentially. So you'll see a lot of that. Grandstanding, like they decided to boycott a vote today, a vote they were going to lose because they didn't have the numbers. So there's a lot of that, a lot of stomping the feet, a lot of sore losing, and that's why they're freaking out over it. This whole refugee ban where people are protesting airports or whatever, if you look at the actual executive order and not the CNN craziness, Muslim ban, it's a ban for 90 days for 8 countries that were named dangerous countries by the Obama administration that have problems with vetting and have problems with terrorism. And there's a 90-day freeze to improve our vetting process. It's not the end of the world. But it's the excuse. Oh, finally, I can go pretend to cry on live TV and then get all my extra social justice warrior points. What it really comes down to is it's virtue signaling. They want to seem virtuous, and they signal to this, I'm so much virtuous, I'm the moral high ground. This isn't what America's about. Well, why don't you tell that to the people in Nice that were getting run over by a truck, or the people in the Christmas market in Germany were getting run over by a truck, or the people who went to that office party in San Bernardino, or the people down the nightclub in Orlando. The idea that we should risk our lives to be some sort of moral high ground is ridiculous, because morality is so subjective. Certain people find certain things, morally and unmorally. There's no real moral high ground that doesn't exist. That is nonsense. And it's not even liberals, because these people aren't actually liberal. If you look up the word liberal, it means like accepting and outreaching, and they're not whatsoever. They have a particular narrative, and if you don't agree with it, they'll literally fight you. It's insane. I don't even know what to call them anymore, because they're not liberals. It's very bizarre what's going on in this country right now.
The main problem is obviously these morons are being tricked by the people who are trying to trick you all along. The George Soroses and all those people who are running Hillary's campaign, and they bought the media, and now these people are tricked, and they'd rather see the country fail under Donald Trump because they think he's terrible than see the country do well. I mean, do they not realize they're in America? And now there's a big uproar about America being first and America first, and they're pissed off about the safety, and they're saying Donald Trump is a narcissist. He's too selfish with this ban. Well, how is he being selfish when he's trying to protect the citizens of the United States of America? I don't understand where that nonsense is coming from. If you're on Facebook, join the Justice page, JUSTICE. Luckily, Frank Tadaro was on there, and he's called our show before. And John have been serving justice. Justice is served. Because there's a bunch of fools on there who literally sit there all day typing Google bad things about Donald Trump, anything they could find from any source, they copy and paste. But again, I'm so sick of saying this every week, John. But today, again, on this page, another moron posted something saying Trump is anti-Semitic. I don't know how many weeks ago I got to say this. Donald Trump, his daughter, and her husband, and their children are Orthodox Jews. His son-in-law is in the administration, and obviously his daughter is his daughter, and his grandchildren are his grandchildren. Yet he's anti-Semitic towards Jews, and he wants to help Israel. Explain that to me, because I don't get it.
He's probably the most pro-Israel politician we have in the United States, and the fact that you can say that out of one side of your mouth and then say that he's an anti-Semite, that the other is just insane. I want to direct you and all of our listeners to Scott Adams' blog. He's the writer who created Dilbert, but now he writes a blog, and he talks about persuasion and how people have like a cognitive distance to stuff where they see the world through a lens and they're not like able to see it any other way. And he was breaking down the recent uproar over this Muslim ban, and I think he made a really great point. The people in the media and the people in the activist left that see this Donald Trump as the next Hitler, they can't even acknowledge the fact that it's really not Hitler and it's really not fascism, and it's that all of that's blown out of proportion. Because if they did that, they'd have to be admitting that they were wrong, and if they were that wrong about someone, they must be morons. So that kind of self-reflection is almost impossible to have. So no matter what Trump does, it's impossible for them to see it as anything other than him being actually Hitler. For example, 2 days ago, Trump signed an order saying that he's going to keep all the gay rights protections that Obama passed. That should be a good thing, right? All the LGBT community's worries about him getting rid of those protections are gone now because he signed the thing. It's going to push those orders to keep them for the next 4 years at least. He's not going to attack their rights whatsoever. The idea is they just ignored that. It didn't fit their narrative, so it just went away. But they're going to concentrate on some other stuff that's just, it supports this idea that he is quote unquote actually Hitler.
Well,
in reality, when you look at it,
I just don't understand how. So he's putting this temporary halt on countries with ISIS in them from coming into America, and it's not a permanent ban, and it's just until he can get his policies in place on the new vetting system. Yet, and this is a 4-month thing. But what happened, John? What happened in 2011 for 6 months, and that nobody cared about then, and yet they didn't care about it then. But now the same thing's happening, but it's under Trump, and they're mad.
Exactly. So it's like this. If you try to argue facts to this problem, you're going to drive yourself crazy, because this generalization and this confirmation that they have, this confirmation bias, really comes from nowhere near facts. It's about feelings. They have this feeling. I know Trump's going to be evil. I know it. I know blah, blah, blah. So regardless of what he does, if it's good or if it's bad, it doesn't matter, because they've come up to this conclusion that he's actually Hitler. So when you really, if someone were to, as an outsider and wasn't exposed to a lot of media, and they sort of looked at Donald Trump's policies from a third party, someone who's completely away from it, you would see that he's actually a New York liberal that has some conservative leanings, but in reality, he's like a civic national. He cares about American culture and stuff, but he's, as far as abortion rights or gay lesbian rights, he's really a lot farther left than almost any Republican in Senate or Congress. He's not this big macho totalitarian. If anything, I think they're sort of buying into their own spin. If you look on like a website like MSNBC, you'll see a story about how Donald Trump is impulsive and stupid, and he watches too much TV, and he doesn't really know anything. He just makes impulsive decisions. And then the story right below it will be that he's a mastermind who's doing all of this stuff purposely to destroy the government. And then, a great thing that I've seen a lot of quote unquote journalists throw around lately is it's unconstitutional. The Constitution is only 4 pages. So anyone who hasn't read it, it's only 4 pages. It's not the phone book. So when people say things, it's unconstitutional. The amount of things I've heard that are unconstitutional, it's impossible for the Constitution to cover all of these things.
And that was the story this week because, like I was saying, 2011, President Obama did the ban for 6 months because he realized, the safety of the American people is very important, and nobody gave him a problem. Donald Trump, he's very much into safety. He does it now, and what happens with his, one of the top people over there that ended up getting fired, right, John? Because they said they couldn't constitutionally or whatever find.
So the acting attorney general, who is appointed by Obama, because Jeff Sessions hasn't been pushed through yet, she was acting, which is like, just for the time being. She made a completely political statement. She knew she was going to get fired. There's no way around it. It was really another virtue signal that, oh, look, I'm so much more moral than President Trump. I'm going to make sure that I stand up for that. She was losing her job in 2 weeks anyway, so she gets fired, and then she gets to win all her brownie points from the left. But I tell you, a really hilarious story that you'll see on Twitter or the Donald subreddit. So they released the form that Donald Trump sent to her on Monday night, firing her. It was one sentence. All it said was, "You're fired," period.
There we go. Celebrity White House Apprentice, which would be a phenomenal show. But yeah, so, there's so much to talk about here. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time. But yeah, the social media mass hysteria is ridiculous. The media mass hysteria is nuts. You got George Stephanopoulos over there on ABC, a known Trump hater, saying already, he says, because of the ban on Muslims has made, which isn't, it's not a ban on Muslims, it's a ban on countries with ISIS, has made many Americans join ISIS in the last day. And ISIS's American total is at all time. Yeah, because George, the U.S. has a freaking census where every week that goes out and asks people, are you in ISIS in America? How freaking stupid. And the other stupid thing this week, John, is Mayor Bill de Blasio, who, if you're here legally in the United States and get arrested, you get deported, who says, oh, well, if you're here legally in New York and you get arrested for drunk driving, we'll let you go. It's not a problem if you drink and drive if you're here illegally. I couldn't believe that nonsense.
Listen, it's the same reason why they fight voter ID laws. He knows for a fact there'll be a ton of voter fraud, and he needs that voter fraud, these people that are unpolled, who aren't registered Democrats, to vote for him. And he's going to push that illegal bullshit to the brink. He's also pushing for body cameras for cops. And I was talking to my buddy who's a cop yesterday about this, and he was like, these body cam nonsense, what people don't realize is a lot of the times cops will let you go for stupid shit as a warning. If they see you smoking a blunt on the street, they'll tell you to get, they'll step on it and tell you to get out of there. If you're drunk in public, they might escort you home or, something of that nature, or that you're speeding, they give you a warning. Once he starts wearing body cams, he's liable if he lets you go. So now if he shows up to domestic violence or anything like that, there has to be an arrest, because now the quote-unquote verbal warning goes out the window. People don't realize that the body cam is going to make their lives 1,000 times harder and much worse. And the people that are going to suffer the most are in the low-income communities, because they interact with the cops more, and now they're going to get charged more. So now
is panicking because he knows his time is up. And I don't know what he's accomplished here by trying to get the illegals to support him, because they can't vote. I don't understand that. And then, of course, the other story here, enough about de Blasio for now. Oh, well, actually, I wanted to tell you that this basically sums up de Blasio's New York perfectly. Yesterday, I waited for the bus. We got this fat guy walking by in the snow with his sweatshirt on and these stained sweatpants and with all spilled and stuff. And he's popping pills and he's screaming and walking into people. And then he drops his beer and he's like, I told you I'm the effing man. I told you I'm the man. And then he just continues like popping these pills. Like if you're, I don't even know, like it's like one of those plastic things that you have to actually pop it out. So he was literally popping pills. And I was like, this is ridiculous, this crazy guy. And that just sums up New York with the homeless and stuff and people on drugs. And then I want to touch on two last things here. First, our condolences go to the family of Chief Special Warfare Operator William Ryan Owens. And we just want to mention how the press today was all over Trump saying, where are you going? You got to tell us where you're going. It was none of their business in this part. But then he said he was going to Dover Air Force Base to join the Owens family to receive his remains. So very nice thing for the president to do, for him to go there, I think. And it shut the media right up. So our condolences go out to him and his family. And kudos to the president for going there, for the media for shutting up once he said that. Now, John, we got 3 minutes left, and I want you to tell everybody why we should boycott Starbucks.
Now, so Starbucks and Netflix, both multi-billion-dollar industries, their super rich CEOs decided that they were going to tell us how to morally live, and they decided to make a bunch of political statements that are just outrageous. Airbnb did as well, so if you use that, I recommend not. So these super elitist one percenters who won't have to deal with any of the issues that mass migration brings, told us basically it's un-American and we love refugees. So the CEO of Starbucks said that he's hiring 10,000 refugees, which is complete bullshit. Not only is it illegal because you're not allowed to hire people based on their nationality, but B, the vast majority of these refugees are unskilled labor. They don't speak English. A lot of them aren't even literate in their own language. For example, last year Sweden let in 167,000 migrants. Of them, only 494 ended up getting jobs. That means 0.3% of them worked. The other 99.7% of them are on welfare. So the idea that they're not coming here as immigrants. Immigrants that come here legally are completely different. They're vetted. They have to have work visas. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Refugees are just coming here for refuge. So a lot of the times, the vast majority of them, they come for the welfare. And, the West has a great welfare state comparatively to the rest of the world. We'll give you free healthcare. We'll give you food. We'll give you a rent. We'll give you some pocket money. We'll give you clothes. We'll give your kids a free education. If you think about it.
Get treated better than the homeless in Manhattan.
Absolutely. The mental illness problem in America is our biggest shame. It's really the way that we handle mental illness in this country is a disgrace. And the fact that we don't even talk about it, never mind doing anything about it. I made this comment the other day, I think it was on Twitter or somewhere, that listen, I'm willing to let in refugees after we're not $20 trillion in debt, after we don't have the lowest home ownership in 30 years, after the after the national average of unemployment for African Americans isn't double the national average. They're more likely they're double. It's not fair. We have a system. We have a lot of problems, and we shouldn't be opening our doors to hand money to people that aren't us. Us first, and that's why one of the big reasons why I think I'm very much a civic nationalist.
Adventures on the Tracks you can catch every Monday night and Friday.